It's November, so I'm looking at Game Boy Color games. Today, Mario Tennis. This game's a lot like Mario Golf for the Game Boy Color, in that it's an RPG where you play as some random human kid whose goal in life is to move up the ranks in the tennis academy until eventually you get the privilege to challenge the world's best tennis player, who is Mario, evidently. So you go around exploring the overworld, talking to people, playing minigames, gaining experience points, and leveling up. You also get separate campaigns for both singles and doubles tennis, which essentially means the game is twice as long as it would be otherwise. Leveling up is very important here, because at the beginning of the game, you suck. You move slowly and you can't hit the ball very hard. But, from playing the game, you gain experience points and can level up. You get a lot of freedom with this, since you get to pick which stat to upgrade whenever you level up, so that means you can focus on power or speed, or put your growth into spin or control, or just whatever you want. As with Mario Golf, this is not a wacky, gimmicky Mario spin-off. This game is a legitimately good tennis game, grounded in reality, and it will appeal to tennis fans who don't care about Mario. The tennis gameplay itself is really good here too, because you use A and B for different types of swings, and different combinations of A and B give you different shots. So like hitting A and then B gives you a lob shot that goes up very high, while hitting B and then A gives you a tiny drop shot that barely makes it over the net. In addition, you can use the D-pad to determine which direction to hit the ball. All this together means that you have a lot of control over where the ball ends up. The game is very fun to play as well. It's fast-paced, especially once you get your characters to a high enough level, and the game actually has a lot of depth and strategy to it. And in addition to the awesome RPG story mode, you can also just ignore that and just play tennis with Mario characters, or you can play one of a handful of minigames to get a high score, so there's a ton of stuff to do here. And I also can't forget about the transfer pack compatibility with the N64 version of Mario Tennis, and the two games are just a match made in heaven, because the Game Boy Color game is an amazing single-player tennis game, while the N64 version is an amazing multiplayer tennis game, so combining them together just means you get the ultimate tennis game. With the transfer pack, you can send your powered-up characters from the RPG mode on the Game Boy Color onto the N64, and then completely dominate all the standard characters, while still gaining experience points as you play on N64, so that you can level up once you send them back to the Game Boy. And there's also a ton of unlockables that you can get in both games by connecting them together and doing certain things. Simply put, the transfer pack compatibility is one of my favorite parts about this game, and for me, the two games just feel incomplete without each other. It's a big bummer that this was cut from every virtual console release of these games, because if you ask me, you gotta have them both. Mario Tennis is amazing. That's really all I have to say. It's just really good, and if you have any remote interest in Game Boy Color games, then you should play it. Don't be scared off by how mediocre the newer Mario sports games are, because this one is real good.